So, get this. Ronaldo's finished. That's what they have been saying for years now. But here's the thing. They've been wrong before, and they were wrong back in 2017 when it looked like he'd lost his touch. Halfway through the season, just 4 goals in La Liga. And fans, they were writing him off, almost celebrating his downfall. But guess what? He bounced back. 21 goals in 12 games, completely destroying every doubt. You know what that reminds me of? That classic line? They love to see a hero fall. It's like people crave the collapse of legends, and no one has had to deal with that more than Ronaldo. I mean, how many times has the world been eager to write his football obituary? But even if you always believed in him, even if you knew the man was unstoppable, there was one time when doubt crept in. Just 1 year ago, it finally felt like the end. And honestly, looking back, can you blame us? Things got bad, like really bad. And for the first time, it wasn't just a dip in form. They were out to tear him down, brick by brick. Let's rewind. Ronaldo's return to Manchester United? It was never supposed to happen. He was all set to join City, but Sir Alex Ferguson stepped in, literally at the last minute, and changed the whole narrative. Think about that for a second. He could have been wearing blue. And United's owners, the Glazers, aren't exactly known for their love of football. They're all about profits, not passion. So how did this even happen? When Ronaldo returned to Old Trafford, it was electric. At 36, this man was putting kids in the Premier League to shame. 17 goal contributions in his first 18 starts. And let's not even talk about his Champions League performances. Actually, scratch that. Let's talk about it, because this is where Ronaldo becomes more than just a player. First game, he scores, gets subbed off, and they blow the lead. Classic, right? But then next game, a 95th minute winner against Villarreal. The third match, down 2-0 against Atalanta, Ronaldo steps up with 9 minutes left to cap off a comeback. And then, just 2 weeks later, another last-minute equalizer. This guy was practically carrying the club in Europe. Every big moment, it was him. But here's where it starts to unravel. Old Gunnar Solskjaer? Gone. New interim manager Carrick benches Ronaldo for his first league game. A draw. And when Rangnick took over, he followed suit, benching Ronaldo against young boys. Another draw. The man who single-handedly got them through the group stage was being sidelined. And it just didn't make sense. It was almost like they were asking for trouble. Things got weird fast. Rumors of Ronaldo and Rangnick not getting along were everywhere. The media was obsessed, and Ronaldo? He wasn't scoring, just 1 goal in 10 matches. But when he wasn't picked for the Manchester City derby, it got even worse. The excuse? A hip injury. But Ronaldo wasn't in the stands. He was on a flight to Portugal. And that raised a lot of eyebrows. Roy Keane nailed it when he said, "That man is a machine. There's something more to this." Then, the comeback. After returning from Portugal, Ronaldo looked different, like the pressure was gone. His response? A hat-trick against Tottenham, one of his best performances of the season. He followed it up with another hat-trick just a few games later. It looked like he was back. But tragedy struck. Ronaldo's wife gave birth, but one of their twins didn't make it. The other was struggling in the hospital. It was heartbreaking. This was a man who had always been able to block out the noise, but no one could have blamed him for stepping away. Instead, just 5 days later, he was back on the pitch, scoring against Arsenal, dedicating the goal to his son, and somehow in the hardest month of his life, he was named Premier League Player of the Month. That's Ronaldo for you. Even in his darkest moments, he was the brightest star. He was unstoppable, even when United was falling apart. Fans had turned on De Gea. Rashford was in the worst form of his career. Greenwood? In jail. Sancho? A massive flop. Pogba? Nowhere to be seen. But Ronaldo? He was still standing, still delivering. He was United's Player of the Season and third in the Golden Boot race at 37 years old. But then came the summer. United wasn't signing anyone. Ronaldo? He wanted out. And from there, things spiraled out of control. The media was a circus. Every day it was Ronaldo to Bayern, to Chelsea, to PSG. Half the rumors made 0 sense, but no one cared. The world wanted the downfall. Then, the missed preseason. People thought he was forcing a move, but the truth, his daughter was back in the hospital. And this is where Ten Hag, the new manager, comes in. At first, he seemed thrilled to have Ronaldo, but when the preseason drama unfolded, that all changed. The club turned its back on him, assuming the worst when he needed support the most. Ronaldo had always been bulletproof, but suddenly it all became too much. The club doubted him. His longtime agent, Jorge Mendes, couldn't land him a move. Ten Hag? Well, he wanted to prove a point. Ronaldo was benched repeatedly, subbed on for the last 2 minutes of games, publicly humiliated. And then there was the Tottenham incident. Ten Hag orders him to warm up, doesn't sub him on, and then with 2 minutes left, he tries to throw Ronaldo into the match. Ronaldo wasn't having it. He stormed off to the tunnel. That moment, it felt like the end. Even then, Ronaldo was still the second best performer on the team, only behind Rashford. But the illness excuses started rolling in from Ten Hag, and we all knew what was coming. The final blow? The interview. The moment that would change everything.